Watching this kid in Alaska in his cabin. This is minus 37 when him and the dog went out there. And so it's been getting down into minus, he's talking about it again too. It's minus 10 degrees Celsius. Okay. Minus 20 degrees Celsius. And so it's cold, and he's in this little cabin with his dog. And he's got a drone and he's video recording everything. And he's playing a little music to you, and he's telling about what he's doing, and he's got a heater in his outhouse, and he's just showing it to you. It's a more modern, mundane existence of what they actually had to try to do to survive back then, and yeah, it's interesting. He likes it though. He says when he's out there in the winter, he says it's completely. He says he likes it. Okay, when it's out there, it's completely uh, quiet, and the snow ruffles out the sound. You can't hardly hear anything, so it's very quiet. He likes the quiet, and that's interesting, And just about wonder because I think in this time of day when he's out there and stuff like that, the days are very short and the nights are very long, right? In Alaska during that time of year, so you only have a little window of daytime and a lot of nighttime. He went and checked his snow gauge and it's almost completely covered. But it's interesting, you sit and you watch. But he said the last couple of years they didn't get any snow, hardly any snow, and that's disturbing, In Alaska like that, you definitely you need the snow, and it's just it's interesting to watch people do their thing. And you wonder why. I think this is, to trend and then make money. And then with advertising and stuff, you trend, you could advertise your money and stuff. And then you build the thing. And then I think it's just kind of like still doing things archaically because we're not doing things intelligently. And it may appear intelligent. You have the power generator things. You set up and you do this and you do things, and would you be doing out there? Would you be trapping? Gold's not real, so going up there to be, George Pratt, his partner, and Big Jim left Seattle in the year of 1901. And Bears Pratt, his partner, and his brother Billy too. It doesn't make any sense. So you wonder, what's the reasoning in this isolation with the dog for company in the snow, shoveling around this three-pronged property with the outhouse, the heated outhouse, the cabin, and the little. You wonder, makes you wonder, and there are just a lot of things that we do that perpetuate, archaic, irrational interactives to keep people in a thought process that I don't understand, but it's interesting. I've watched some of these, and I because it fascinates me that that's people still want to live this way. I think it's because they had done this kind of stuff in different regions for thousands of years, having to survive, but survival is something, usually people want to get isolated because people are aggressive, they're abusive, they'll come, they'll murder you, they'll take what they want, and so times have radically changed since then. but we're still doing these things. And I wonder if it has something to do with the brain activity, because the biological and psychological conditioning to feel a sense of mental and emotional stability, I guess. I don't know. I can't tell you. I look at it and go, oof, ain't you glad we ain't having to do that no more? That's how I think. Okay. Like I told you when I, watched the Charlie Chan and the Sherlock Holmes and and then you watch the new movies and they're worse. And you're like, what? Why are they worse? I haven't the foggiest fucking idea why they're worse, but they are. Okay. What's going on? I don't know. You think they're thinking? I can't tell you for sure. I don't know there, son. And so he's a nice enough kid. He says, at certain times he has a baby gate around the toddler gate around the fireplace. So he has a wife and a little girl, because he said, her and stuff, and people get out and do things, and um uh, yeah, like when I watched the one with the guy going to the kiddo that was off the grid in rural Appalachia, you know, and had the trailer with the and so, and you wonder, why do we have to keep doing this, and why do we have to keep putting people through this kind of archaic process? Why can't we share caregiving according to need, built to last, and put people into better psychological, emotional, and physiological conditions? If something needs to be done, do it. If it doesn't need to be done, it's at www.alaskacabinadventures.com. So if it doesn't need to be done, why are we still doing it? And when Quinn the Eskimo hears all the collision's going to run to him. It's not my cup of meat. But my dad been to Alaska, said it was the prettiest place he's ever been. I think it's quite pretty. I think Santa Fe's pretty. Okay. I like the powdery snow there too. Okay. But it's not minus 37 degrees Celsius in Fahrenheit. It's, so I was like, what the hell? I just, no, I can't. Yeah. I've done the Alaskan cold fronts in Washington and Wyoming and stuff. And I know I'm of Germanic descent and everything like that. But I really like the cradle, and I really like the Gila, And so, that's cold enough for me. So, but it's just and my body's been so horrifically abused, and my mind's been so horrifically abused by selfish and pathetic people that when you're the focal point of the Gospels and the living embodiment of the Lord's Prayer, and you're the focal point of right to correct wrong, and truth to protect us from lie, and you're still being denied and abused, and people, people don't do you switch. No, I'm not a drama queen. I'm not writing about it. It's just, this is the facts, You're not doing things right, okay? You're capitulating. You capitulate and participate in the philanthropy to be successful and think it's great and talk about it all the time in front of other people, in front of children, where children can hear. I know it's fundamentally wrong, and I've been good, and I've stood up for good and right, my whole life, and I've been studied and abused and judged. They were shitty to me in Sierra Vista, and shitty to me when I got back here. You're a savant, you're Asperger's. You say things that are inappropriate in front of people. I have never told people that money is more valuable than them, and they have to give me money in order to justify their existence on planet Earth because I own the planet, and I'm a complete fucking psychotic asshole who has psychologists to verify the fact that I own the planet, and you need to give me money for your drugs. Okay. You speak inappropriate in front of people. Healthcare my ass, right? So yeah, and so and these people actually believed it. The people under the Obama administration, they thought I had emotional and mental problems. They thought I couldn't talk articulately enough to help people understand how to live civilized lives. Seriously? Why is this kid out here in 20 inches of snow? Well, because it's turning up world. Why don't they just have a house, a home, a family, and a man who loved her so? This is just the burlesque show. It's just a different version. It's just another part of me. No, knock it off. Okay, knock it off. It needs to quit. This kind of stuff needs to stop. It's not intelligent. You could put your life at risk. You could be filming this and die in the process for economics. Okay. And if he's recording all this and he doesn't have a signal and he does the recording and loads it up and stuff when he gets back to quote unquote what you guys call civilization, right? I know what I'm talking about. I'm an intelligent human being. Well, he's got the ladder out. I was wondering if he was going to do that eventually. Try to find a way to get the snow off the top of the roofs. That would make it a lot less hard on the structures. So I see. Is he going to get the ladder and try to get the snow off the top of the outhouse and off the top of the house? I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I don't understand most of you. You make little to no sense to me at all. The connection stuff you guys did to me to with the mind fuck with Max and Emmy's mom, it kind of does help me understand it at the most intense, insidious level. Amy, no, because Amy was manipulated by the abusers that are her business partners. So I can just help talk her through it and say, here's what they did, and here's how you reacted, and here's why it happened, and you're not a monster, and you're not a bad person. It was just you're just in survival mode, and you were trying to get help Gracie get the money out of the floor to run away with Sean Penn or something. I don't know. I can't tell you. You know what I mean? But it's like it's very difficult. It's very hard, and the manipulation of the women and their children in my life, shows you just the depravity and the selfishness and the, still make these fucking films. No, don't make any more of those fucking films. We don't need any more like I told you with that fucking last night, that keeps showing the rape scene. That was really pissing me off. I'm like, I don't want to see this anymore. Why am I watching this? I don't want to watch it. But I went to watch it because it was connecting to, okay, this is part of military mind fucking. This is military mindset, And so I'm sitting there going, man, this is a drag, looking at this. And so it's really hard to get people to do things intelligently. And I didn't think it would take this long. I didn't think and I thought I'd get better reactions from my own family, especially when, they were around living it and feeling it because, they're related to me. Right? But, apparently the manipulation with the technology, it's hard for me, when I sleep, my dreams, they're insidious and they're stupid and they're why am I having this dream? Why am I having that dream? And so they're dumb and they're bad. And I know it's hard for me, and I know who I am, and I know other people are not and are praying to me to be magic and save us all with magic instead of accepting me and help us deliver ourselves from evil by truth and right and good, and so it's very difficult, and I understand that. So it's helping me understand it better, the way I can sit and look at things and watch things and help my brain go, okay, here's what's going on. So, Doesn't make much sense, but here we go again, right? So, um, uh, I love you guys very much. I'll load this one up and get it done so I can go in there and soak in the tub here in about 20 minutes or so. All right, shouldn't be going through all this crap. No, we should be living lots better. We should have all the cars, bars, and wars parked by now. We should have people globally using technology to communicate intelligently and not do things irrationally to make money and have extreme uh, conditions and interactions. And you should build to last, not build things that are temporary for economic manipulation. It's just thoroughly wrong. I love you guys very much. All right, peace out, man.